Hi everybody and welcome back to Kevin's Upfront Opinion today. So, what I thought to speak about is something I'm not even really that keen about, which is Andy Burnham. Okay, so Andy Burnham's been on the BBC, talking about him being Mayor of Manchester, and he's been quizzed about whether he'll rule out himself as challenging our incompetent and useless Prime Minister Keir Starmer, because he's openly admitted that people have advised him, challenge him, go for the leadership and everything. And then there are those other people who say, yeah, but he can't become Prime Minister, he's not an MP. Now, I'm going to address them two questions because I've checked out some of this. Now, when it comes to should he rule himself out, I would say no. Because Andy Burnham is categorically correct when he says he doesn't know what the future is going to hold. Okay, anything can happen in politics. It's like the old saying goes, a week in politics is a long time. Okay, especially in Westminster. You could be up at the top 1 minute and you could be down the bottom the next. Okay, and that's the reality. That's what happens in politics, especially when you're in the Westminster bubble. Now, I appreciate Andy Burnham's not an MP. Okay, used to be an MP, now mayor. Okay, so I agree with him. He shouldn't rule it out. Okay, because, with this budget that we've got coming up with our Chancellor, it could absolutely destroy him because there's the rumours that they're planning on increasing taxes, which they said they weren't going to do when they won the election last year. And that could happen. So fundamentally, Keir Starmer could find himself in a crisis. And when you look at the front bench of the Labour Party, is there anything really there? Anybody that you can say that you could elect or would want us to replace Keir Starmer? I would suggest not. In years gone by, there was always lots of people that you could say that you could think would potentially be able to lead it. But the front bench, they're all lefties. Okay, go way, way to the left. And you suggest the country would be in a far worse place. So I actually agree with Andy Burnham on this, on not actually ruling himself out. But then you come on to the secondary question. People say, yeah, but he can't be Prime Minister. He's not an MP. Now, that's not technically true. Okay. Because the reality is, and there's history for this as well, if you actually look at your history books, okay, there are plenty of people that have been Prime Minister of this country without being an MP. Normally, they've been in the Lords. Okay. So, with the rules as they stand at the moment, Andy Burnham could be Prime Minister. If he ran for leadership, he could be Prime Minister without actually being an MP. It is actually possible. It's no different. Okay. Now, I normally vote Conservative. I'm not a member of the Conservative Party. But if I was a member of the Conservative Party, I could run for it. Okay. And if they were in power, I could be the Prime Minister if people voted for me. That is reality. Okay. Now, people might not agree with that, but that's where it is. So, what I want people to tell me is, do you actually think Andy Burnham should rule himself out? Or do you think he should actually start a challenge with how badly this government's going at the moment. So let us know in the comments down below. But for now, thanks for listening, and we'll speak to you again a bit later.